Previously on Unfettered. Please, no. I only wanted to... And Gamzees just puts the blade through her head.
Constance, there's something that I might have been concealing from you about some matters that you told me about on the Draconic Isle. Your map.
Mm-hmm.
I just communicated.
And Albert, we hear his boots splash in the puddle, the growing puddle of Clementine's blood, and the Constance and Gamzees come out of focus as the focus racks over to Albert, and we see him pick up the dagger, and the moment he touches it, we see him standing alone in a space of vast darkness. And when he looks up, he is not alone. There's a tall figure, approximately 8 feet tall, who is pure white. They are roughly humanoid, wearing flowing robes with no discernible facial features. It's just like the prototype of a humanoid head, and we hear echoing throughout this endless space. Hello, Albert. I am Raziel, Angel of the Gate. What do you ask? Hello, and welcome to episode 14 now, part 1 of Unfettered. Crispy Top Hat, how you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, I made a mistake. We got honey walnut chicken for lunch, me and Crispy. Now I'm just in a food coma. So, I'm sorry if tonight's episode gets canceled because I fell asleep on my keyboard.
Yeah. On that note, we are probably ending early tonight because of a schedule-y thingy. But don't worry, we'll try and get plenty of nonsense in the meantime.
Speed running Unfettered. Woo!
What? Okay.
Oh God, no. Crispy, how have you been? What have you been up to?
I've been pretty good. I've been doing good.
We've been playing lots of Warframe this past week because it's surprisingly addictive.
A little bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hours in it.
Good fun.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix the cameras and talk to you guys at the same time, and it's not.
Does this
working. No, actually.
How about this?
Nope, that doesn't help either. You know what? We're gonna...
Wait. What if I just went like this? Is that helpful?
That is, in fact, the least helpful thing either of you has done so far.
I mean, I
can
think
think of
the
a couple
viewers
things.
are happy with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, very entertaining. Okay, and we just cropped Crispy's face here. Crop. You guys drop your flashbangs. Nice. Everything's a disaster. You know, at least one thing had to go wrong tonight, and I'm glad it's this. Also, my camera appears to be frozen. Wow. Okay, it's everything. I lied. Okay. Well, hi. We fixed one problem, came up with a couple others. Now we're all good. I think. I hope. I pray a little bit. Yeah, mostly. Okay, so it is episode 14 after our horrible rambling preamble. It's episode 14. It's sort of the beginning of a new arc. And because of that, I want to very quickly as quickly as I can, sort of challenge to myself, recap what is basically season 1 of Unfettered, so that people who are new have a good place to jump in. So, let's see how I do, and if I fuck something up, you guys can correct me. Before the campaign started, so like the basic premise, a long time ago, something happened, and the world was sort of destroyed. You can see here that it's a bunch of floating islands and continents, and that event was called the Cataclysm. Lots of time passed, airships were invented, and the Mullish Empire, down here in Mulland, decided to become an empire and take over the rest of the world, starting what was called the War of Ennoblement. Albert Vessinger and Constance Stormheart, our 2 main characters, were involved in that war toward the end of it, and both of them, for various reasons, ended up in prison. At the beginning of our campaign, they broke out of prison along with an ally, Captain, or not Captain, but Kelly O'Dare, who has sort of been their go-to for a long time, and helped get them their beginning crew. They stole a ship, became pirates, and started causing trouble throughout Hersagul, which is the name of our world. During that, they ran into Kelly's husband, Professor Roderick O'Dare, and the 2 of them make magical and mechanical oddities and artifacts for the crew. They also came across / kidnapped Mabel Pennyweather, who is sort of a student of the O'Dares at this point, but has kind of been much more of Constance's pal, because Constance is a psionic. A long time ago, she fell into the arcane, which is all this energy void stuff that you see underneath the continents. It is a realm of pure energy and chaos that typically people don't survive in. She fell into that and became a psychic. So Mabel has been studying Constance and helping Constance figure out who and what she really is. They picked up a couple other people along the way. They found Zaire, who is a Air Genasi member of the Travelers, an organization that Albert used to belong to, which are sort of a religious but not tied to any specific nation organization centered around uncovering the hidden secrets of Hersagul. They also found Lifo, who is a somewhat inscrutable construct paladin, who just sort of showed up one day and they were like, "You're coming with us," and he's been kicking ass ever since. They then went to Moradun, which is the part of the world that the Mullish Empire conquered during the War of Ennoblement. It is a land populated predominantly by Genasi, with some elementals and humans and other mortal races. The situation there is pretty bad. The Empire has been cracking down. There are some culture clash issues. There are some, issues with racism and class and all that terrible stuff. When they went to Dunsimic, they met Gamzes, who is a fire genasi and an agent of chaos, much like Constance. And the 2 of them have gotten into much trouble together. And Gamzes is also an ex-revolutionary. She fought in a failed revolution in Dunsimic. And she also carries the mantle of the Rumara, which is sort of, let's be real, like the Marin Batman, or Robin Hood, or both. Albert, while he was there, sort of weaseled his way into the Imperial stronghold at the Mayor's Manor, and convinced everyone that he belonged there, because he was trying to find his old friend, who, spoiler alert, ended up being dead. When he was there, he encountered Clementine Darrowshire, who is the governor of the entire desert region that you see here, the imperial governor of that territory. She revealed that she had some form of dark magic, which Albert found interesting, but ultimately didn't do anything about, and just sort of bailed because he was busy trying to find his, unbeknownst to him, dead friend.
Literally sipping tea while it happened.
Yeah, she had like dark mind control powers. So they bailed on that, found out his friend was dead, searching for a hidden vault from before the cataclysm. There was an argument about what they were going to do about the vault, but ultimately they went there, went through it, discovered this artifact there, which is a lotus, which the whole vault is shaped like a lotus, hidden beneath the desert. But there's
it's actually just a pair of AA batteries.
There's this smaller lotus inside, which is an artifact they took with them that they have been using. It allows them to replenish class powers. They ventured out into the world, caused a little more chaos, interacted with some people in sort of one of the pirates' dens, sanctuary in the no man's land here in the center of the world. Made some deals with a couple different organizations, basically saying, hey, we'll do stuff for you if you back us in this war we're starting with the Empire. Throughout all this, I should have mentioned, they've been slowly pissing off a man by the name of Molokai Kent, who is the Grand Admiral of the Empire, who was once a childhood friend of Constance, but they had a falling out, which we have since seen in flashbacks. They fought together during the War of Ennoblement. Constance took what Molokai considered was a step too far in attempting to keep him safe by killing their superior officer when it was found out they had done some horrible stuff during the war. Molokai thought that was too far, and that really loyalty to the Empire was the most important thing, and he is the reason she fell in the Arcane. He literally threw her off of the ship in an attempt to kill her. So they've kind of been at each other's throats ever since. Constance has been pretty much everywhere they go, leaving a taunting message. Yeah, he's been not stoked about that. So they left Sanctuary in No Man's Land, went to the Draconic Isles, which are overseen by a set of 10 gods in the form of dragons. They went there in an attempt to ask the dragon gods for their help, or as a secondary goal, if they couldn't achieve that, keep the Empire from gaining their help, because the Empire had already sent an emissary. They engaged in a series of trials against the Empire, managed to succeed at almost all of them, and in the 11th hour, Molokai Kent shows up with a dragon-slaying spear and basically says, if you help these people, I will kill you. And so the dragons were like, well, we can't leave, but if you need any kind of help that involves us not leaving, we're willing to give it to you. They got word that Zaire, who had since become somewhat close with Albert, I think at that point they were acting as Albert's number 2. And so they heard that Zaire had been captured by Clementine Darrowshire back in Dunsimic, and that cultists were openly roaming the streets and sacrificing people for some dark ritual. They rushed back. The city was on fire and under siege. They fought long and hard to get through the city, where they faced off against Clementine, defeated her despite her dark magics, and where we left off last time, our good friend, Captain Albert Vessinger, had picked up Clementine's dagger, which is impossibly white. It is a being, or it is an object of another realm.
It lives in the suburbs. It's got a Prius. It's working at a tech startup.
Yeah. It doesn't understand why it's not allowed to use the N-word. Yeah, super white. He picked it up, and in doing so, encountered a being named Raziel, who Clementine was heard calling out to, praying to in her last moments, asking for help. A being that she had referred to as an angel a couple times, which was this all-white, somewhat faceless being. And so, yeah, Albert picked up the dagger, saw this vision, and now, as we come back in for episode 14. I think that explanation was less than 10 minutes, so I feel pretty good. Albert, you like shake your head and blink, and the vision is gone. But you were still standing in the mayor's manor. The city outside continues to burn, but the battle is over. What do you do?
I guess I kind of flick the dagger and like check it out, before stowing it away in my pack.
Yeah, looking at it, there aren't a whole lot of discernible features. It's like we said before, it's almost as if it has no shadows. And the only texture on it is in the handle. There's some texturing in the handle to make it easier to hold on to, but other than that, it's almost.
Wait, so is the blade really slippery?
Yeah, it's supernaturally smooth.
Well, no one else is getting their hands on this. I put it stored away in my pack. Ain't no one gonna be praying to Raziel today. Yeah, so I store that away. At the present moment, isn't Gamzee's being basically breaking down, being comforted by Constance? And I'm over here checking out the thing I definitely shouldn't have picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gamzee's is I don't remember. Were the two of you? You guys were like hugging or something at the end of the episode, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like maybe we were looking at Albert, and then in a mirror to our last scene, we rack focus back to Constance and Gamzee's as the two like step away from each other, and Gamzee's wipes under her eyes. Thank you both.
So, is revolution planned for this part?
Unfortunately, I was not the primary planner. Mayor Dukibo, he was.
Of course.
Oh, he was actually part of the revolution. I just thought they killed him for fun.
Well, I'll start to call in our troops, and we'll get the city under control first.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. So
the city. We need to help the people.
Yeah,
Shit,
Albert.
The people. I feel like. I think Constance is gonna be like starts getting like, all right, starts like, magnifying glass, go.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. So I pop open the.
Oh, the spyglass. That's right.
Yeah, spyglass. Yeah, and I'm gonna pull out the stones and start calling our people to fly the ships over surrounding the city.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like arranging for like everyone to go scatter, like help as many people as we can, get people in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking out, the field, the interdiction field that was keeping airships from flying in and out has gone down, and you can sort of faintly see the Mullish ships, the Imperial ships, retreating from the city. They have, and like they're firing on the city as they go, so they're causing some damage on their way out, but they're clearly not planning on sticking around. They can tell that this battle is lost.
If I wasn't so messed up, I would just chase a ship down and sink it for fun.
Yeah, I think
I could probably sink a ship.
No, when you level up, you restore all your resources.
I mean, you technically don't level up until you take a long rest.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
Well, guess we're all
actually
level 8.
Technically, yeah.
Or maybe it's a short rest.
It's not even that. Like technically, you're supposed to take a break, and it's a downtime activity is to level.
Yeah, it's a significant rest.
It was a very restful moment when we killed
Clementine. Yeah,
really
so peaceful.
Clementine. It was just we felt
really
such a weight off our
Gamzee's.
shoulders. I saw an angel. Like that's like I'm a divine character. That should count for something.
Yeah, I think so. Zaire was still injured at the end of the last episode, I believe.
Yeah.
So
help
they'll come in like having heard that combat is over. Is it done?
For like standing over like a corpse.
No, she's still alive. No.
I think they just look at you, Albert.
That was my attempt at humor. Anyways, it's a dreadful time. Jokes should not be.
I think I'm gonna put a hand
Right.
on Zaire and heal them.
Yeah, I'll also heal Zaire for.
It doesn't take
Lightly.
much.
However much HP you need. Yeah, you guys can just we'll hand wave it. You heal them back
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
My thanks. Are the others coming?
We are presently. I'm in the process of organizing our troops, but we need to we're probably going to need to all hit the streets ourselves, rally up the cities, take out whatever Imperial forces are left.
Very well. I will go. And
If you need gear, just look around.
Yeah, there's plenty of dead bodies.
They nod and they head out. They're clearly still a little shaken. But really like just doing something is allowing them to move forward. So they head out. And I assume, you guys organize people and then you go out and you help yourselves?
Yeah, just help as many people as we can. And
you notice, like, you're looking around and the guards and the soldiers, that because they're still out there, you encounter them a couple times, but the guards and the soldiers, when you first go out, you see them like just waking up and like holding their heads in pain, and cultists looking panicked, as quickly the military people that they had control over turn on them. So you don't really face any opposition going out.
I'm gonna go ahead and try and I don't know if I should. What do you think? Should we try and directly convert them? That seems a little difficult. But
Chris, you have a specific power that you haven't gotten to use this entire time.
You do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
so
going to... the power of sympathy. Sympathizers.
Defined sympathizers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
ex-military.
I think at this moment, after what has been happening in Dunsimic for the past, month at this point, I think, most, if not all, of the Imperial garrison, those that were mind controlled, are in a state where they're feeling a little embittered, and so they're absolutely sympathetic to your cause.
All right, I'll go ahead and try and see if we can't make soldiers out of them.
So you know how you wanted some not pirates.
Yes.
And so I think we see Albert illuminated by the burning buildings of Dunsimic. We see him, approach an Imperial soldier who's commanding one of these groups, and like put a hand on his shoulder as he raises his sword, and we see like a short exchange, and the soldier, like, we see his face sort of soften and then trim to a salute. And the guards look back and forth between each other, sort of unsure, and then one by one join in.
Just got a giant. So basically, you've got like two things going on. You've got like Gamzees and Constance walking around the city because Tophead is very, very intent on making that happen. Very intent, incredibly intent on making that happen. So I assume it is happening. You've got them walking through the city, probably like talking to people, and on the other side, you see Vessinger basically gathering up the guards, killing off the cultists, marshaling the forces, and basically just treating the garrison, kind of like behind the...
And so, how far ahead do we want to skip in time? Do you want to skip to the next day, or do you want to skip until like things have sort of settled down a bit?
I think we should work out what has happened and then skip to the point where where like the thing that makes the most sense would be us just managing it. Like, we're not, trying to figure out how to allocate resources.
Bureaucracy, like, moment of like, well, we're gonna do, okay, well, like, skip not do next day because that's just gonna be us talking to city planners all day.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's...
So, who... I guess we'll skip. I think a month ahead then.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been living here for a month, running it.
Who has been put in charge of the city at this point?
So I think I wish we had talked about this ahead of time because
Yeah, it was that's not a smart move.
I would suggest creating an NPC now of like whoever was in charge of the revolution or like the rebellion that was going on, but it
Gamzees
wasn't
was, like,
really.
Yeah.
We had Gamzees, who's Batman, and we have Zaire, who was in contact with what remained of the rebellion, and like to kind of get a council formed rather than like a leader.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where we have a seat, Gamzees has a seat, and then a few rebels have seats.
Yeah, because our whole prerogative here is when we take over cities, we want to replace people. We want to make the people in charge of those cities
And
replace people from those locations, so we don't have to organize an empire after we kill the empire.
Someone from like the guard, like the military, who has converted to our side. Multiple from the rebellions and the people. Like they will have the majority. That is Gamzees. And then us as voting members, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think I deserve a promotion. I think I'm now Grand Admiral Vessinger.
I think you are Admiral Vessinger, though.
I am now Admiral Vessinger.
Yeah. So I think we see you guys. It says at the bottom 1 month later, and we see the two of you standing outside a door to an office. And then inside you just hear sort of muffled, "Come in."
All right.
Yeah, we walk in.
You walk in, and it's this like it's a pretty nice office. Like there's wood paneling on the walls. There's a ornate carved oak desk, piled with papers and ledgers, and sitting at the desk, with her, hands to her temples and her elbows on the desk is Gamzees. So, why did you give me this job?
I thought you made quite a striking figure, Governor Gam.
Don't say that. Just call me Gamzees.
It's temporary. We will get a real government going once we can, but right now we don't even know. We barely have a count on citizens, and we're still rebuilding.
I thought the fight was going to be the hard part.
No.
Let me tell you something from my experience in the military. Month fighting, a year talking about it.
Good point. Well, how about you? You've been working on those charts, yes?
Yeah. Here they are. Just kind of pull charts out, roll them out on the table, and like you start like we're pushing them together in weird ways to like.
Yeah, this is our Excel spreadsheet.
So you push these drawings together, and what we see is a rendering of a landmass with locations marked on it, with sort of like hastily transcribed translations, and there are some lines through it in a couple like in other inks that sort of delineate the current borders of what is known about the various lands of Hersagul, and we can see that this is sort of like a reconstructed old Hersagul from before the Cataclysm.
Yeah.
So, this is it. You think you know where they are?
Yeah, I think it should be right. And then like we pull out a map of like current world. Or
well, we already have it drawn in. We already have it drawn in to the map. Like we have the lines where current Hersagul is and old Hersagul. Yeah.
Then I do not know how much work there is to do here, but frankly I do not think any of it is work you are suited for.
I was great at paperwork. I don't know why You guys insisted. I stopped doing it.
You burned.
Well,
You burned half of the clerks. Look,
It just-
I know you and Genasi. It gets a little explosive. It's your lightning stuff, but you're working with paper, okay?
I'm slightly concerned I brought her with me into the building. Just don't touch anything, Constance.
Fine, like lean on the wall, just creaks.
I think Constance, you're like holding something that you picked up off the desk and you like put it down.
At the moment, the paperwork is rather hectic, but
I've
already worked with God. I've already been talking ahead with Zaire and several other members of our cast, and we should be able to get a decent system running. It's taking it off the ground here, getting people knowledgeable. We should have good records from here on out.
Between the Pirates of Sanctuary, making sure that the airways are safe, the travelers keeping us supplied with news, I think we are, for the first time, in a somewhat stable position. My only concern now is Dunria, to our north. But should things stay the same, it should be okay. And of course, she picks up one of the sending stones. I can keep in touch.
Of course.
We'll probably need you.
Do have to say, it's quite a pinch losing one of our best fighters. Oh, you see.
You flatter me.
Well, I can say one thing. To the duration of our travels, you've taken 10 times the amount of hits I have, and somehow you've come out better than I have every single time. Miracle.
She looks down, and she's got like her sleeves rolled up, and there are like scars all over her forearms. And it is not a time I will soon forget. And of course, if the need arises, I will light this place on fire and I will come to you.
Please, Gamzes, be reasonable. Don't light our city on fire. We spent so much effort getting this place. It would be a dreadful waste.
The water Genasi just put it out again. It'll be fine.
That's what you said about the clerical papers. Do you remember what happens when you have water Genasi? Put out clerical papers.
Do you have a first location in mind?
Well,
we've
to the
talked,
north there's...
and I think we've decided to choose a location closer to Simic.
She
It used
nods.
to be fairly small in comparison to some of the other temples. We don't know what we have to expect, and we don't know if these records will be correct. So this is all just preliminary. However, I expect we should be met with.
Well, it will be good to have you close at hand.
Yeah.
If there is nothing else, She looks around. Have so many more papers I must get to before I can drink.
Well?
Oh, and by the way, Gamzes, I was looking through some of the transcripts, some of the shipping manifests earlier, and it would seem that one of our clerks has had a slight spelling error. You might want to get onto that.
Oh.
And then Vessinger just walks out of the...
Yeah, I think as you're walking out, you hear behind you, like, calling back to you, "Why do you do this to me?" And we fade to you stepping off of one of your ships, out in the desert, and I think maybe at the bottom we see like a marked vault, middle of nowhere, Maradoon. Who are you bringing with you?
Definitely Lefo.
Okay.
Lefo or John?
Well, I mean, if on our ship, we could have both.
Yeah.
Because John is really not a great person for the city situation at the moment. Like, he doesn't know anything about doing any of this. He's just a pretty face. Like, he could play music for while the city council is meeting, but that would be more distracting than helpful.
Yeah.
Bringing the spirits up.
I mean, I guess we could have him walking around bringing spirits up, but walking into a
no.
dangerous death trap, you want to leave the person who can cast real magic behind.
Yeah, no.
So he's just
Lifo-
hanging out on the ship, and you're bringing Lifo with you.
Lifo in with our
Yeah.
initial visit, yeah, for sure.
All right.
And we might. Should we bring Mabel on the ship?
Yeah, have her close at hand for relic, like, so that she can
Our
recite
resident
them. Yeah,
smart person.
A resident
smart person.
archaeologist,
Yeah, basically.
other than Roderick.
Yeah, I imagine we're having
Well,
Roderick
Roderick
work
and-
in the city at the moment, because
Yeah.
that's kind of what he's passionate about. You know,
All right,
like,
so
being a good person.
he's like doing infrastructure upgrades
Yeah,
with
Yeah.
with Kelly.
Yeah, they're doing their building
they're
stuff.
being academics. Kelly's being an academic for once in like like months.
Yeah, I think you've probably noticed that she gets really antsy when she stays in a location for a long time.
Yeah, I wonder why.
But yeah, all right. So we see the three of you step off, and you climb down a rocky crevasse, and find yourself outside of a pyramid. And so, as the map loads, there's a walkway, a promenade leading up to the entrance of the pyramid. And outside of the entrance, you see a pair of iron statues bedecked in armor and holding weapons.
Well,
What do you do?
guess we're gonna have to destroy those at some point.
That's how it always is.
Well, can we try to just walk past them?
Sure.
Lifo, why don't
I
you try that?
mean, dude. We're going to
Another
activate
grab.
a stance. Where's my stances?
Anti-Tomb Guardian stance.
I feel like this
I
one.
feel like that's a spell.
Let's see. You attune.
Nice.
Mine sees control of wood and earth. +1 AC. Okay.
I feel like this is the place to use my earth stance. All right, let's just
So the
Hands are
three of
up.
you move up.
Yeah.
As
like-
you approach, you notice that the entrance behind the statues has a large stone slab covering it.
Okay. Just stand there. Look at the guards.
The guards look impassively back.
You want to try?
Statues, are you gonna wake up and attack us?
Your voice echoes back at you from off of the canyon
Try
walls.
shooting them with lightning. Perhaps they'll activate.
Constructs. I can't do much to constructs.
Lightning.
But I don't want to spend points this early on.
Is there
I
some kind of
could.
switch? I'm asking this because there's no way I'd make a perception. I'll try one.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
I had advantage. I should. That was a.
I mean,
Two.
you do not
This is
see
zero.
a twitch. Or a switch. A twitch.
Twitch.
Huh. Hi, guys.
Alright, let's see ourselves get attacked. These things get a surprise round.
So is the idea that you're walking straight up to them?
Yep.
Very
Yeah, nothing
cautious,
happens.
probably with weapons drawn.
Yeah. Well, I might not have my weapon drawn, but yes,
I definitely
we
do.
know they're going to attack us.
Yeah, you
Every
walk
single
right up to
statue.
them and nothing happens.
I like look up. They're not doing anything.
This is first.
I.
What about the door? Let me get that open.
Lifo, do you want to open the door?
Lifo looks to you. I have no desires. However, if you wish it, I will try.
Lifo, would you please open the door?
Yeah, Lifo approaches, and go ahead and roll an athletics check for him.
It's only got 3 skills? What? Wow, I should not be rolling.
Oh.
He gets his robotic fingers underneath it and tries to lift, and it does not budge.
Guards, can you help? Statues? I think I like pat one of the statues. Go.
You hear like a hollow clang.
Can I like try to look into the armor, like lift a piece up and?
I mean it's pretty tightly fit.
Okay,
but you can like
sealed.
cup your
I wanna
hands and look into one of the eye slots. And you see intricate mechanisms inside.
These definitely come to life. They definitely do come to life.
I'm gonna like do a careful search of the surrounding area, and just kind of like not use
Alright.
perception.
Yeah. You notice. It takes you like 10 minutes because you have to go somewhat far afield, but you notice there are a pair of like oddly round stones. There's one here and one here. But they are like they've been weathered over time, but they're clearly man-made.
All right, so let's
I'll give it a kick.
roll those
Yeah.
into their slots.
Where are you attempting to roll
yeah.
them to?
The holes.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Fuck.
I guess I can.
13.
I'm good at athletics.
Are you? A 9. Yeah, so I think, we see Lifo standing here almost like a mirror image of the guards as the two of you struggle to push these things through the sand. You very slowly get it, but it takes a lot of work. You can manage to get them to the steps, but you cannot get them up the steps.
I'm gonna quickly check a stat block of the thing.
Is it a tomb garden?
No,
Okay.
Is it can I just look in the monster manual? Tomb garden.
They might be in the monster manual, but please don't look them up.
I don't have the right book near me. I wanted to do monster.
Who would think the leaders of the revolution such sorry figure? Lifo, could you please help us with rock? For the life of push.
Lifo absolutely can. Go ahead and roll athletics for Lifo and give him advantage.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I could have definitely just done this and.
Wait, what?
That's deception.
Okay. Whoops. God damn it.
Wait, why is it +5? Does he really have that much charisma? Jesus.
No, he doesn't.
Are you rolling off of your sheet or his?
No, this is off of his. He rolled a 50.
He just rolled a flat 15.
Oh, I see. Okay. I mean, we'll take the first roll and just apply his strength bonus to it. So that'd be a 19, which is enough.
On my side, I use a power.
It's called Athletics check.
Animate Earth. Okay, so
You should read it.
as an action, you cause an Earth elemental to appear in an unoccupied space you can see. Oh, nice.
They have 20 strength.
Well then, yeah, that'll do it. So
Take
you
an
have
Earth Elemental out of the ball.
you have an Earth elemental now. Give me just a moment.
Second while I find my monster manual.
I can just give you the already statted token if you wait a moment.
I'm capable of waiting a moment.
I mean, you're gonna have to wait because I have to go get it anyway. But while I do that, I can describe stuff. So, you move these stones slowly and arduously up the steps and roll them into these slots here. And you hear what on a smaller thing probably be a click, but is instead more of like a deep rumble, a thump almost, and then you hear the sound of something very large moving. Constance, some sparks of energy fly off of you.
Oh no.
And toward the ground, and you feel slightly drained. You lose 5 psychic power points.
Okay.
And you see the 2 guardians shift like jerkily as rust and sand falls off of them.
Wait, how do they act jerk? Do they just like flip us off? Or...
I hate you. They come to life, and as they do so, the door behind them opens.
Do you think that these ones will respond well to persuasion? My good friend foe?
I see no reason why they would.
Thank you. Ever insightful.
So I have an Earth Elemental for the next hour.
There we go. Earth Elemental. And
Have that.
I'm gonna find what is
export to game. Add to Unfettered. Roll20 is a great platform. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag kinda sponsored because I'm a marketplace artist there. And here is your Earth Elemental. Are they large creatures?
they are
Yes,
large
they
creatures.
Jesus! Okay, I mean, I don't know if it can fit through the door, but you can try. I guess it can squeeze.
It can burrow through non-magical Earth without displacing it.
So
It just moves through Earth.
Yeah, it will not be able to do that to the pyramid, but it can squeeze. I learned from our previous campaigns.
Well, no, it can't move the Earth. It just moves through it.
Right. I was more
Specifically
saying
says
that
it does not disrupt the materials it goes through.
All right. Can be edited and controlled by... There you go. If you shift double click on the token, it should open the character sheet for you. Learning the magic of Roll20. And I should already have the Tomb Guardians open. I do. Can I roll their initiative from here? Boop. I can. Yeah, so we're going to start some combat. Although, actually, we're right at the top of the hour, so... I think you step forward a bit, and we see your Earth Elemental like lumber into the promenade and like hunker its shoulders down, and the 2 guardians turn and place their front shoulder forward and raise their weapons, and the sand blows past you dramatically, and then we go to what would in the TV show version of this be a commercial break, but for us is like a 5-minute break while we
Chris,
step away from the computer for a moment.
What's up?
Want to do LeFo?
Yeah, you're already doing the Earth.
So,
So yeah.
we will be back in a couple minutes, and when we're back, we will have a combat set up. So, see you in a minute. Bye.
Bye.